Area candidates talk food security as the election nears. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. With the federal election just 1 week away now, local residents recently had the chance to question the candidates in both Thunder Bay area ridings. Roots Community Food Center hosted an event called Eat, Think, Vote. Candidates were asked about local, national, and international food issues and were given the chance to share their party's platforms relating to the topic. Jessica Clement reports.
Food insecurity, upholding Indigenous food sovereignty, and rising food costs were the main topics discussed at the Eat, Think, Vote event hosted by Roots and the Thunder Bay and Area Food Strategy. The forum saw Liberal candidates Patty Haidu and Marcus Pulowski, Conservative candidates Bob Herman and Brendan Hyatt, and NDP candidate Joy Wakefield. The Green and PPC candidates were not in attendance. One question dealt with how the parties would address barriers to Indigenous peoples managing food on their territories, including harvesting, selling, and consuming traditional foods.
Ensure that First Nations have the financial resources to continue on the path of sovereignty. And we need to understand that we're not doing it for them, we're doing it with them. And I think that's a big difference in the language that you'll hear coming from the Conservative Party and the Liberal Party of Canada.
When we pollute far north areas and say, oh, what's up there? Just a reserve? Well, that's where we'll dump things, or we'll bulldoze, or do whatever it is. These are some of the challenges because that destroys hunting population.
What we can do as a party or as a government, we can facilitate opportunities for them to take that harvesting off the land and coupling it with growing their own food.
Another question asked how the parties would support the ideals of food sovereignty as part of international relationships alongside foreign policy and trade.
We're part of the Commonwealth, and there's a lot of Commonwealth countries out there that can actually and want to work with us and want to have foreign relations and trade with us. I also, like everyone else here says, do believe that we need to work with other countries and support those countries.
Grain from out west came by rail and goes on ships. And we have historically fed the world. So certainly global food security is something that economically benefits Canadians.
Moderator Charles Levko says not only did they want to give candidates the chance to share their perspective on food issues, but also give the community a chance to engage with them.
Everyone both listening to what others have to say, but also getting to push back a little bit, and specifically on these issues of food, which really affect everybody. We all eat, we all need food, we produce food here, we harvest food here, so the issues are really relevant to everybody.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
And you could hear more this week from many of the candidates running in the two Thunder Bay area ridings on TBT News Issues and Answers. Stay tuned to see KPR Thunder Bay after tomorrow's news hour. At 7 p.m. Tuesday, we'll air Issues and Answers Thunder Bay Rainy River, featuring interviews from the 4 candidates in that riding whose parties held a seat in the House of Commons when Parliament was dissolved. Then on Wednesday, after the news hour, you can see Issues and Answers Thunder Bay Superior North. And if you happen to miss either of them, the 2 shows will re-air back-to-back on Thursday evening, starting at 7 o'clock on Global Thunder Bay. They'll also be available online on tbnewswatch.com. This year's federal election could see the highest voter turnout in decades, according to the returning officer in Thunder Bay Superior North. That estimation was further supported by a strong turnout in the advanced polls this Easter long weekend. Justin Hardy reports.
We've had 11,000 people vote as of yesterday, and more coming in today.
Thunder Bay Superior North returning officer Dale Mason says he expects an extremely high voter turnout on April 28th. This comes based on strong turnout during advanced polling. When the early polling facilities opened on Friday, some sites experienced lineups leading out the door and around the block.
I believe it's going to be, if not a record, very near to a record, yes. We have, in the last decade or so, there's seldom been any more than 60%, 60-something% of the people voting, and I think we can beat that.
Advanced polling station staff have been able to catch up with the demand, but it's been a steep learning curve, according to Thunder Bay Rainy River returning officer Kevin O'Donnell. While staffing issues caused some problems during the recent provincial election, O'Donnell says his riding is ready for the big day.
In terms of we have all of our polls staffed at this point. I think we do have a couple of more training courses happening this week. mainly for standby people, I think. And we do have a few standby people. I think we're still hiring a few more, but we're pretty much fully staffed at this point.
In fact, for the polls in the city, we have exactly one vacancy left for all of those jobs in all those places. In the region, they're fully staffed in some of the communities, still looking for a few in a couple of places.
Advance voting ends tonight at 9 p.m. Those who still wish to vote early can still do so by special ballot at their returning office by 6 p.m. tomorrow. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
The Thunder Bay Public Library is hoping to get City Council support for the relocation of one of its 4 branches. Library officials are looking to move the County Fair branch into the Intercity Shopping Center, where Sport Chek currently resides. This proposal would cost much less than the library proposal rejected by Council last summer. Jonathan Wilson reports.
The Thunder Bay Public Library is once again looking at Intercity Shopping Center for a more centralized and accessible library branch. This time, the plan would be to move the County Fair branch to the side of the mall currently occupied by Sport Chek, which is planning to move to a different location inside Intercity.
That location already has a great entrance right into the food court area, has an external exit already that basically backs onto a bus stop off of the major thoroughfare on Memorial. It's an amazingly sized location. It's 24,000 square feet, which is very similar to either Waverly or Brody. So similar to what we're used to working with, all on one floor, which makes it very easy to access.
Library CEO Richard Togman hopes this time City Council will be more in favor of the proposed 24,000 square foot location, noting that they've been working with and have support of city staff. Red River Ward Councillor Michael Zucino, who put forward the memorandum to bring the item before City Council, believes this proposal is much more palatable than the large central library plan for Intercity, which had a $21 million price tag and was voted against by Council last summer.
It will comprise of about a $5.5 million capital expenditure to make the place to fit the needs of the library. It will have contributions from the mall itself. They were going to contribute $1.375 million, if I'm not mistaken, and then $2.1 million is going to come from the library, and then $2.1 is being asked to come from the city.
Back in 2018, $1.3 million was already allocated for Waverly Library renovations, but Zucino says most of that money wasn't spent.
Between talks between administration, city administration, and library administration, they've decided they want to allocate this money towards that. And then in the resolution that I've put forward, we're looking for around $700,000 through the Renew Thunder Bay Fund as a one-time capital expenditure.
Togman adds that the proposed location captures part of what they were hoping to achieve with the larger project in the former Lowe's store portion of Intercity Mall.
With an additional 24,000 square feet, we can do things we just can't do in our current model, and in a way that leaves us at the heart of the community, the geographic and kind of, one of the major geographic hubs and commercial hubs for our city right in the center, so that, if we're having programming there, it's accessible to people from the north side, from the south side, in some of the rural parts of town.
The proposal will be brought to City Council next Monday night. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
Thunder Bay and partnering organizations are doing their best to make sure evacuees from Nescantaga are safe and comfortable here. But Kevin Anderson with Thunder Bay Fire Rescue says community members are hopeful to get home soon.
Everybody likes to get out for a little visit, but in a short time everybody gets homesick and wants to get home. So hopefully the health clinic that they need back home can be fixed up or temporary location, and then people can safely go back home and have the services that they need.
152 evacuees have been brought to the city so far after the community's nursing station had to be closed due to flooding. Those community members have been doing their best to get by at local hotels. The city and other partnering organizations are providing services like 24-hour security and hall monitors. Anderson says they're hoping to make this time a little easier on the community.
We're just making sure they have all the needs with the food and their rooms and everything, activities. We're fortunate to partner with the Red Cross, who takes care of a lot of their personal supplies that they need. Batau Health is here for medical and mental health. So really everybody's kind of coming together to help the community, keep them safe.
Elections Canada is planning to organize a polling station for the evacuees here, should they still be in Thunder Bay on Election Day. The annual multicultural event Batau was back for its 3rd edition this past weekend. The event brought together flavors, styles, and performances from across the globe. The fashion show kicked off with a dinner and a live musical performance on Saturday night. Batau featured 6 local fashion houses, including Lillian Breland's African Boutique, which also organized the event. Breland emphasized the importance of showcasing the unique contributions of different countries and celebrating each other's cultures.
This event is actually to come and travel around the world just in one evening. As you can see here today, we have food from Cameroon, from Afghanistan, from Italy, and we also have food from Canada. And you can see Kokombanok and beyond, she's just behind there. And we also have few local vendors. What you're expecting today is just that, fabulous fashion show. You're going to see models rocking the runway with diverse costumes and clothes. And we also have local entertainers that's going to entertain us during the evening, which is what made the difference on how the event is taken by the community.
The group's next big event is the first ever Afro Vibe Festival, coming up on July 12th and 13th. Despite that wet snow this morning, Thunder Bay's downhill ski season has officially come to an end. Loch Lomond hosted dozens of brave skiers and snowboarders yesterday afternoon to entertain the crowds at their end-of-year Slush Cup event. Emma Chilton was there.
The Slush Cup is Loch Lomond's annual end-of-the-year event. Many of the Cup contestants wear costumes and attempt tricks and flips before landing after the jump. Owner of Loch Lomond, Jason Gary, says this event is a fun way to end the year for both skiers and Loch Lomond staff.
We like to do it on the last day of the season. It's always great. We get a great turnout. People love to come and just get in the pond, splash across, wear fancy costumes, and have a ton of fun. My favorite part of this is actually watching all the kids just having a great time. There's also a lot of camaraderie with my own staff, so it's a great time to actually, kind of the end of the year, it's a wind-up, so we actually have a good time, and all of the staff come on. They do stuff that they aren't really, normally doing. Lifty's working on crowd control. We've got people from the kitchen staff helping out today outside, so it's a lot of fun for us.
Skiers lined up to attempt the jump across the pool of water. Others weren't so lucky and ended up in the pool drenched. Contestants told us why they wanted to join the Slush Cup.
Yeah, I kind of whipped out. I don't know what happened, but I was just upside down at some point and just landed in the snow. But yeah, didn't get hurt, so it's all good.
It was fun. I face planted at the end. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Pretty good. The water's a bit low, so I might as well have just fallen in because I got soaked. But that was really fun. I come every year. It's my favorite part of the ski season. You come on the last day and you try not to go for a swim.
Oh, man!
Emma Chilton, TBT News.
Well, as fun as that looked,
Those people look crazy.
Yeah, it's a little wild, but it looks like a good time.
Yeah.
Although I did decide to spend my time elsewhere, I can confirm Mexico is warmer than here.
I would say so. And you're lauding your suntan over all of us, those of us who are completely pale. Today, it was one of those confusing days. I let the dogs out this morning and they weren't quite sure what to do with it. That's because we had snow this morning for a few hours, and that did transition to more of a rain-snow mix for most of the day. We had a low of 0, a high of 5, so that's right, I did not shovel. Didn't think it was worth it. Winds relatively light from the northwest, 11 to 37 kilometers per hour. Across the region, though, we had a fair amount of this system move through. Now, the brunt of it hit Lake Superior, so areas west did not get hit as hard, but today it was really blanketing much of the areas around Lake Superior, and it's still being felt in various parts. Now, the big issue is the variety of temperatures that we've got. So literally, it's like we have multiple seasons happening simultaneously in northwestern Ontario. 15 and sunny skies in Fort Frances, even Red Lake, despite being mostly cloudy, topped out at 13. They're currently at 12. Dryden is currently at 14. Then the temperatures start to drop off as soon as you hit Uppsala and Armstrong. Greenstone is sitting on the freezing mark. They've been hovering around the freezing mark for the last 24 hours, a couple degrees below, maybe 1 degree above. Right now, sitting right on the target. And that light snow has been continuing all day long along the North Shore, also just hovering around the freezing mark. Sault Ste. Marie has stayed above the freezing mark all day. They're currently at their high of 6, so they've been dealing with rain and drizzle all day long. So literally, we've been covering the gamut of everything that could possibly happen. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, we could still see, you know, a couple more hours of periods of light snow and or rain. But we will drop back below the freezing mark tonight with a low of -3, wind chills of -6. And as we do that, skies are going to be clearing. Winds are going to be very light, just 5 to 10 kilometers per hour from the northwest. But skies will be clearing overnight. And that's actually, Haley, going to set the stage for a beautiful Tuesday. Not necessarily as warm as we would like at this time of year, but lots of sunshine. And I'm going to suggest that will help you ease back into the more Canadian spring weather. But I do warn everyone that they should enjoy it, because we could be seeing a few more rounds of that rain, wet snow as the week progresses. And I'll have more details later on in the news hour on that.